Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Joining me for the final time about this season, specifically on the block with me, is JoJo. How are you today, JoJo?
I'm doing great. How are you, you beautiful woman?
I am very happy that the season's come to an end. And that I'm happy with the winner. I'm happy with who won Big Brother Canada season 9.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
That sounds like almost happy, but not ecstatic.
We'll get to it.
I do think, though, that because of the type of season it was, I would be equally as excited with anybody. Like I don't think I would have been like, yes, with any of the final three. So maybe that, like, would you have been jumping up and down for anybody?
No, I absolutely agree with that. I was kind of going into it. I'm like, I'm cool with anybody winning, really. But I was rooting for Tara. I was rooting for Brayden. And I was happy.
Fair. Hi, Fashion. You were waiting for us. Well, we are here. We are here. What are your overall thoughts of how the season concluded? I think it started off the episode. I love seeing the sweet different moments. Like, I always am into a good, montage of past like events in the house. I do wish, though, that they showed some bits that haven't been seen before. We've talked about it before, but like, where's that damn roast? I want the roast. Why didn't they play the roast?
What happened day 3?
And what happened day 3?
Been dying to know. Thought we'd find out tonight. Didn't find out.
It's just like we talk about it, but we don't know what actually happened. Like, I mean, it seems like he just popped off and like was yelling at everybody, but I wanted to see a little snippet of it. I don't know why they were, maybe he said something offside. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't show it. Because they want their entertainment. They hold back the feed so like they can dictate what we are going to enjoy. So why would they keep that away from us?
Bastards! How dare they?
I don't get it. So one thing that I like that they did, the announcer or whoever, the script writers, they said to Sean, from charmer to chess master. Brayden, from social butterfly to social prodigy. And Tara, from underdog to comeback queen. This is Big Brother Canada 9. Yeah. Like, I like when they kind of button up their stories a little bit. I don't know if it's exactly perfect, but I was into it.
I thought it was a good read on everyone, too. I was really impressed with the finale in general. Not having a live audience, there was still a ton of urgency, and it was exciting.
The last half an hour could have been not there.
Yeah, I would say like the beginning up until we saw the pre-jurors, I was really into it, and then I was ready for the vote. I'm like, just give it to me. Tell me who wins. I want to know.
Exactly.
The rest of it felt filler.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, it could have been an hour and a half easily. They showed the fights instead of the roast. Yes, BB, and thanks for hanging out with us here. I mean, I'm happy to see the fights, sure, but I wanted to see the roast. Like, I watched the fights on the feeds and on the show. Like, I wanted to see the roast, Yeah, and what else did we miss that they that from those first week or whatever that they didn't show us any more of? Like, I want to see all that stuff that they kept away from us. What happened on the weekend? That weekend that they kept away from us. Like, I wanted to see maybe a little bit more about how that all went down. They just did not want to show us that.
No, they were locked in their room separately. They were like, no talking, nobody.
Fashion says, I think it concluded well. I thought that they should not have cut the speeches because the rest was filler. Absolutely. Like, they're giving them 1 minute, but then like there's 75 commercials and like all this garbage filler. Like, everybody in the jury and in the first 5 got more time to talk than the final 2 making their speeches. And if it was 2 minutes, that's not that big of a deal. I feel like they would have both wrapped it up in less than like 30 more seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give them 2 minutes.
when Ty won the final HOH, I was like, give this man the W. That's interesting. We will definitely be getting more into who we thought was going to win and if we think that Ty was deserving of the win and if we were surprised by the votes. So that will be something that we're going to discuss soon. Ty winning final head of household gave him the win. Well, it's kind of most likely the person that wins the final 3 head of household is in the highest favor to win because that's like the biggest move in front of the jury. They won 2 parts that they had to do to get themselves to the final 2 seats. Unless they did absolutely nothing in the game, it's just too flashy. Do you think that Ty would have been able to win if it was Brayden that ended up taking him?
Now that I saw all the votes, yes.
Even if Brayden was like, I'm taking Ty, and like had all the same stuff, like, you know, I want to see 2 black men sitting here, et cetera, because I do feel as though Brayden had the votes before the whole, you know, the whole episode. Because even, so the 2 people that said it for sure was Tara, and then also even Victoria was like, Brayden's got my heart, Brayden's got my vote. And so I was really thinking that Brayden was going to get it no matter what.
Yeah, I'm shocked by the vote. I thought once the final 2 was cemented that Brayden had the win. I thought his jury answers were beautiful. He was incredibly articulated and spoke with purpose. And I feel like he gave an incredible final 2 performance.
I definitely agree with that. I think he sold it to me. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I would be satisfied with Brayden as a winner. I mean, just to jump to the end a little bit, but when I saw that Victoria had voted for Ty, I was like, oh, Ty won the game. Because like, and then when Rohan, I was like, oh, Rohan too? Okay, Ty has definitely won the game. And then obviously Jed. We'll probably talk about it more, but it bothered me how many times Ty was saying, I'm loyal, I didn't throw anybody on the bus, I'm loyal. And I was like, you're not loyal. And when he's like, you're oh, my man, Jed would never do that to me. Like, wait, what? Like, you really expect these people to be your man? And then when I thought he did a terrible job answering Beth's question about jury management, being like, oh, like, what did he say? You know, my game should prove that my jury management, like, actually, no, that's not what jury management is at all.
Yeah. I was shocked.
I was like, ooh, those are not good. What do you think about LaToya calling out the show hands? She never was really that big of a fan of Beth. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially because Beth was originally kind of with Ty in the beginning. And then she moved on over to Jed. And then after like all the things that she did to get Jed out, and probably, you know, LaToya's been probably talking to Jed's mom and stuff. I do feel as though they're not a fan of Beth's. And I thought it was like, oh, Jesus, that's so cold.
Burn is right.
Yes, I agree, BB. Brayden answered the questions much better. Brayden seemed calm, cool, and collected when speaking to the jury. Absolutely. I think he did a much better job than Ty. Except for Tara, LOL, the jury was not bitter. See, I still think that they are bitter, but they didn't vote that way. Like, I feel as though actually Jed convinced Beth to vote for Ty. I think that he convinced her because I don't think that she was really planning on it.
During the jury segment with Anthony, I think maybe Beth said it outright that maybe we were looking at Ty's game in the wrong way. So that's when it started to click in for me. Well, maybe they are going to be leaning towards Ty if it's Brayden and Ty in the final 2. And at that point we knew it would be. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of up and down until the questions. And that's when I thought Brayden has this. He did a beautiful job of saying what he needed to say. And it didn't work out for him.
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised. Ty mansplaining jury management to Beth was a low moment. Absolutely. Like, I would think that lost him her vote. I wrote down like, oh, he lost Beth's vote. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Especially like just the fact that he just straight up lied to her too. He's like, I've never thrown you under the bus. I'm like, I don't believe it. Of course you have. Everyone, not everyone, but most people have thrown someone else under the bus. And maybe they forget about it. Maybe it was in a side conversation, but it's happened.
He allowed Beth to take some heat for some stuff. That's throwing Beth under the bus. I think maybe because he's not that great of a game player, and I don't think he's that big of a fan. I don't think he understands what jury management is, and I don't think he understands what throwing someone under the bus is, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, I think he just doesn't know what he's talking about, basically.
Fair.
I think that Ty played a better game, and Bray had a better speech. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Brayden was a little bit more reactionary, and Ty was in the driver's seat. Yes, he was with the trio or with the Sunsetters, but he was dictating a lot of what happened. And I really do feel as though Brayden, he needed to say something about, like, I wish that I had made my mark with that move or something like that, because that move was, I think, what lost him the game. He needed to have saved Tara and have, I guess it was Kiefer that I think was going to go up on the block instead, and it would have been Kiefer or Beth out or whatever. I can't remember what the dynamics were, but he needed to save Tara and take some control and like dictate some things in the game, because I think that it looked as though he was just doing exactly what Ty did the previous week, and wasn't successful. So he's just doing Ty's bidding. So if he wanted to, go ahead.
He did. He asked Ty, like we're going to vote out Beth, and Beth said no, or sorry, Ty said no, we're voting out Tara. He did exactly what Ty wanted in that moment.
And then after, though, with even the using the, like, it just was bad. It was just bad for his game that he did not use that opportunity when he won his first veto to not just win it doesn't matter to win the veto, but doing something with it that's good for your game is what the jury would need to see. It's not just the win. It's what you do with the power that's important. So I think that Tara made $100,000 mistake by voting out Kiefer, because I think that Kiefer would not have won the first part of the HOH. Yeah. I think that then Tara would have won instead of Brayden, because she was the closest next to Brayden. And I'm not sure 100% of the final three of the HOH, but the final part, but she would have a better chance, I think, against Ty. Like, I think that she would have done equally as well or potentially better. So she could have won that final HOH, and she would have been able to brought Ty.
Yeah.
Probably. And she would have at least got 20 grand, and making that move, it might have been flashy enough. She would have had Tina's vote. She would have had probably some of the oddballs votes. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think that she would have had a better shot at winning the game, and she would have at least got second place. So I think she made a big mistake by keeping Brayden around.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I might differ on is Kiefer did do really well with that balancing the apples during that veto.
But he's still kind of clumsy, though. Yeah. Like, I just don't see him being that agile for that type of competition. Like,
I was shocked Brayden won it.
Well, I love when he was talking about, let's just talk about that competition, actually. Yeah. So part one, did they give it a name? I don't know. Oh, and actually, before we go to part one, yes, Arissa in that red ball gown. Oh. Yes.
10.
10. 10s across the board.
Across. Loved every aspect of it. The drama, the
color. It's the perfect red. It's so good. I was like, she needs to be on a cover of a magazine in that dress. Give her Vogue, people. Give her Vogue. I thought that she looked so good. Pardon?
Give her British Vogue.
Ooh.
Vogue.
Oh, British Vogue. Well, I'd want to do British Vogue better than American Vogue. Like, I want to. European Vogues are like where it's at. They have actual style. Yes, I thought that she looked amazing. I was so happy that she pulled the showstopper out for the finale. So I definitely thought that this was her best look for the season. And, you know, you got to love a great red dress. So I was impressed by that. So on to the competition. Part one is they're each in their own lanes. Okay, let's see if we can explain this. And there was a hovercraft. Still trying to figure out how this relates to the whole superhero comic book, like apocalypse theme. Still trying to figure it out. But I was kind of going like, maybe it's Back to the Future and they're trying to go back to the future to redo season 8. Like, I don't know. I was trying to make it make sense. I don't know. So they had a hoverboard that they had to push to one side. They can only put 5 discs on at a time on each end. And they had to go underneath when they went to go and put the new disc on. So they had 60 discs that they had to put on their hoverboard on top of 2 very small, it seems like maybe a 5 millimeters. How small? It was pretty small, like a dime-sized cylinder that they had to put these coaster-size discs on top and stack them up. Yeah. So difficult, but it seems like it would be doable. They gave them 4 hours to complete this, to whoever gets the 60 stacked in 4 hours. Now, is this a design flaw that they did? They all timed out and they had to go to sudden death?
I guess so. I assumed it would be whoever had the highest at the end.
That's what I thought too.
My strategy would have been like the last 20 minutes is when you like kick it into high gear and just try and get the most.
And just stand there.
Possible. Yeah. So I was shocked that it wasn't just whoever had the most. They did go to a sudden death. They made it easier for the house guests. Yeah, I didn't think it looked impossible.
No, I was surprised that they took the 4 hours and did not complete it, that nobody actually won. But I don't like the fact that the competition that allowed them to win was different than the competition that they did for 4 hours. Like, this was like they were allowed to stack 10 at a time and they only had to do 40, and the first one with 40 is going to win. Different competition. If they said the first one would, like, it would have been different if they had the same rules the first time around. It would have been finished and it might not have been braided. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I would have been annoyed if I was doing decently well in that competition and then it's changing, like it's more speed this time as opposed to being careful. It just tests a whole bunch of different things that you weren't working on for the last 4 hours, and I would have been annoyed.
Absolutely.
I mean, unless I won, but like if I didn't win, I'd be annoyed.
There's the key. That's the key. If you won, you're like, all right, I'll take it. But it's not a win you're going to feel incredible about.
No. So, like, we know how that feels when like the game is one thing and then all because something didn't work, it changes to a completely different game. It's like, well, then why did we waste 4 hours playing the other game when it's just that we're supposed to be doing this? So I don't think that they expected that somebody wouldn't be able to complete it. And so this was probably just their last, what do we do? What do we do? But I think that they should have workshopped it better or something. Give them more time. Give them 6 hours. Like, make it an endurance. Who cares?
Keep going until you get it.
That's
what I want.
Why was there a time limit?
Production was tired. They had to get out there. Union rules.
I don't care, production. I don't care. Like, I think it's a fail that they worked on it for 4 hours and then a completely different game somebody else wins. Like, I would be so pissed. Like, so pissed. Anyways, how do you guys feel about it in the chat? Ooh, BB never says 100 times better than Julie Chen. Yes. I'm also going to take it because we went to high school and middle school together. Yes, Sarissa. I'm still, okay, I can't remember. Next time I go to my mom's house, I need to find our yearbooks because at the school that we went to, we had yearbooks from we were 9 years old. And so I know that I have at least like a poem I think, beside Arissa's poem in the yearbook. Like, I feel like I remember seeing a poem of hers. So, and I want to see it. I know, and I can also picture another photo of her in it. And I think I'm in another photo on the same page. I just remembering, this is obviously like 30 years ago, but like, I want to look in the yearbook to see if we have any, you know, pictures and stuff like that on the same page. So remind me to find my yearbooks, because I'll have 8 yearbooks that I'll be able to go through to see, you know, me and Arissa's linkage. And so, yeah, I 100% support Arissa because she's my peoples.
Yeah.
I love the discomp. Was that the time that no one was able to finish, the first time no one was able to finish a comp? I can't think of one off the top of my head. But this is like, why did they have a time limit? Most of the time, it's you go until you're done. They do similar stuff like this on Survivor, where you had to, like, you know, walk your way back. I think they even did it last season or the season before on Big Brother, where they had to walk it back and keep something balanced. Like, they do similar stuff, and you just do it until you get it, not in a certain amount of time. And so I think that it's a design fail. I enjoyed the comp. I thought it was a good comp. But I hated the fact that they had to go to sudden death, and it was a different competition, basically. Similar, but different.
Ditto.
Yippers. After 4 hours of practice, each player knew he could do 4. Yeah, yes, true. But it still just puts a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, especially if I was Tara, because Tara was, I think, in the lead with the 60. You know what I mean? I can't remember actually what happened. Did she drop all of her stack? Or did she have the most?
I don't know. I know the ties had just fallen. So he was just out. And I don't know what Bray's, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember. Sorry.
Regardless, though, like, I would have been pissed if I was Tara, because
absolutely.
Just a different game. So Brayden wins part 1, though. Good on him. Happy that he got another win under his belt. I love the fact that he is referencing some, you know, laws of motion, you know, talking about how, everything that's in motion doesn't always wants to stay in motion. So he was being cognizant of, like, not stopping abruptly, making sure that taking accountability for the movement forward when it's coming to a stop. So I love that he was really doing a good job with winning that comp. So he may have won it no matter what. I'm not sure, but I do think that he deserved the win. I think it was good, but I felt bad for Tara and Ty that they didn't get it. So Tara, you know, she wants to make her kids proud, and like, this is where I was really getting on Tara's side. She was narrating a lot, and then I was like, oh wait, if she's narrating a lot, I feel like this is them kind of phasing her out. They know the outcome of the competition, or at least the final 2. And so I think that they're giving her an edit because they knew that she was going to be snippity snip, snip, snip. Do you think so too?
She wasn't looking too happy in her diary rooms in general, I found. So there was no part thought, oh, she won this part. Even part 2, I'm like, oh my, especially part 2. I was like, my God.
Part 2, let's talk about it. Light 'em up. Light 'em up. Light 'em up. She was doing so well. And she allowed okay, I get it, getting flustered and like overthinking or whatnot, but she only really needed to do 5 combinations. You know what I mean? Like, at that one that she was kept on losing, she needs to like knock this one down, like this one down, and just do a trial and error because she didn't have any idea. And so the fact that she allowed herself to get mixed up and frazzled, I was like, that was her self-sabotage right there. She lost herself the game in that moment, I thought.
Me too. It was hard to watch. I had to get up. I got up off the couch. I couldn't watch. Aww. I was like, no, I'll listen. This is awful. I cannot imagine having a meltdown. Like, at Final 3, Part 2, like, just, and knowing that you're the one that needs to win this to make it there.
She had to win it.
I'm sure. Usually when watching the live feeds on any other season, we know who won part 1. We know who won part 2. We know if they're telling the person that didn't win that they're going home for sure, out of both people, we usually know what's up a little bit more. So it was just hard to watch and know that these boys are definitely bringing one another, and she flopped twice.
Yes. I mean, the disc one, I can give her a pass on that because it was challenging and nobody was really doing that well. Yes, BB saying the pressure got to her. It happens. It does happen. But I also think it was her own inner saboteur coming in and not allowing her to do as well as she's been doing this whole season. I'm going to be at $0 on the stock watch because I put my money on Tara because I thought that she was going to be able to focus and do like being able to laser in and pull out that win, because that's what I've been seeing her doing all along. She's on the block, she laser focus, she pulls out the win. And so I really thought that she was going to be able to laser focus here and pull out the win. And for whatever reason, her inner saboteur was not going to let that happen. She was going to allow herself to fail, which is, it's so easy for me to say on the outside, like, oh, you could have just focus and do it. I know that's just, it's easier for me to say, but it's really what happened. We see it happen all the time with, like, you know, professional athletes, even where they finally get to say the Olympics and they fail, they flop at the Olympics their first time out because they're not used to that concentration and focus and being able to perform under pressure. And so I'm saddened that she didn't pull through because I thought that she knew how to harness the pressure, but she was overtaken by it. That's what it was would scare me on the show. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm incredibly confident with Tara for both part 1 and part 2. I was like, she can do this. She's the type of person that has attention to detail, and that's incredibly important. So when she started to kind of discombobulate, that's when I knew, like, ooh, it's over for her.
And then they show Ty doing it, and Ty seemed to be having a little bit of trouble, but not a meltdown trouble like she had. And he didn't get tripped up on the same question that she did. So I was like, oh, because I was thinking, like, well, if she got messed up on that one, maybe Ty is going to get messed up on that one as well. He got messed up on another one. And he didn't seem to have any trouble with that one, or they didn't show it anyway. So I was like, oh, Tara's not winning this one. I'm like, okay, Tara's done. Tara's out of here. Because
the balls.
Say again?
Even throwing the ball, like the balls, I thought, oh God, like this is not good for Tara.
Yeah, the first thing that I said, I'm like, Jesus, Tara can't throw?
No.
I mean, I don't know if I would be able to throw really well. Maybe the balls are really light. Light balls are very challenging to throw. What I thought was going to be, like, interesting is, though, when you knock down the ones and then you move to the next set of numbers, did you clear away the old numbers, or could they get mixed up in them as well, and then you could not know the second set of numbers, or third or fourth, you know? Because they would all be in the middle.
Yeah, that's brilliant and terrifying at the same time. I feel like you'd have to be really sure about what you're doing.
Unless maybe we couldn't see, but
the answer was.
All right. Well, maybe like we couldn't see, but like maybe there's like a number on each of the cubes that, like, oh, question 1, question 2, question 3. Maybe there was something that we couldn't see that distinguished them from each other. Because I was like, man, like having 30 cubes in there with numbers on it, like how do you know how far your cube went to go pick up that cube from this pile of cubes? So I don't know. So BB loves the disc comp. Sorry, he already said this one. Yes, we did that. And that too. Okay, so I'm sorry, but everyone on the season I could tolerate to some capacity except Beth. Even her jury segment annoyed me, LOL. Beth. I don't mind Beth as much as most people do. I think that I would be able to tolerate Beth if I was in the house with her, and I don't really have a high threshold for tolerance for people. So I think I'd be okay with her. I think that I'd just be like, hey, let's just calm down a little bit. You know, people don't like people that are annoying. Just shh. What are you going to say?
I feel like if I was in the house with Beth, I'd be encouraging her to be intolerable. I'd be like, "You say it, girl. You're right. You're
You're
right, Beth."
evil. Oh
Honestly,
my
but
god.
Canada, I truly think that Canada would probably hate me. So I do feel for Beth a little bit because I'm sure that I don't know if Canada would like me at the end of the day.
No, but people would be rooting for you. Be like, oh my god, the ultimate like pumper upper, Beth, the fire starter is JoJo. People either would love you or hate you, being like, oh my god, don't let JoJo in there. We don't want more Beth. I guess she was though. No, who did I find the most annoying? I found Rohan before he became the underdog quite annoying. I didn't like the tone that he had when he was speaking to people. It was kind of condescending when I didn't think that he had the right to come off as superior. So him and Kyle also both annoyed me more than Beth did combined. And it just was the way that they were speaking to people as if like they were God's gift. Pardon me? Oh, Vic really annoyed me.
Didn't
Yeah,
Vic annoy you?
Yeah, Vic really annoyed me. Way more than Beth annoyed me. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I would have wanted Vic out like immediately. So like how you guys are hating on Beth, I would have been like, Victoria's out of here. Like she's so annoying. Maybe Canada would hate me because she's so entertaining, but like I'd be like, I can't take it. It's too much. I also felt this Soy Speak is the first time Beth and Jed have any idea that America didn't like their showman's dead. Yeah. Who made the face? Or like somebody made a face.
Brayden.
Ouch. Are you ouching me like not liking Spicy V? Or like she's okay, but she was annoying to me. Beth is Beth. Beth is an acquired taste. Yes. Like, sad to say, but I would be friends with Beth over Victoria. Sorry
I'd be friends with Victoria.
I mean, you guys are earth signs. What's her name? Beth's fire signs. So fire and air work well together. So it's a thing. Beth seems like she has a lot of friends. Stop it, BB. I mean, yeah. I think she probably does. Kyle annoyed me too. I forgot about him. Yeah, let's forget him. I mean, actually, I was interested in the fact that it seems like there's still interest between him and Austin. So maybe Kyle will be her first boyfriend, and maybe she'll lose her V card to Kyle. That'd be kind of fun. Be like something interesting.
Beautiful, right?
Well, she's gorgeous. She's like probably the prettiest person of the cast. Like stunning. She's just so stunning. So stunning. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Tara. I thought that like Tara messing up that question was going to be another misdirect, kind of like how she was freaking out with the superhero one in the last whatever competition, veto competition. So I really thought that they were just like, oh, she's saying that she did a terrible job, but she's going to still win this one. But then Ty only got 11 minutes, and they didn't even tell us what time Tara got. So I feel like it must have been really bad. And you could tell when it said 11 minutes. What? 40 something? No. No. 40?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Oh, because like you could tell though, as soon as they said 11 minutes and she didn't even flinch, she just like, and I was like, oh, she did not win this. I did feel bad for her. So Ty, though, one thing that he was saying a couple times in his diary room is that he wants to see two Black men sitting in the final two, and it would be the first time ever that's ever happened. And it would be the first time in that case that a Black man or a Black person has won any sort of iteration of North American Big Brother. I don't think any other Black people. Am I correct here?
Besides Celebrity Big Brother 2.
Right, with
because the final two went to Tamar.
Tamar, yeah.
And Ricky.
Right, but I don't really count celebrity because celebrity doesn't necessarily go through all the same, diversity issues. You know what I mean? Because like they become in a different class. So yes, they were diverse. Obviously, they were both Black people, but I don't really hold it in the same as regular Joes going in the house and competing for money. So I can't think of anybody else that was, we'll say, Black. What else we got going on here? That shocked me, Kyle. Austin, please give me a percentage for their survival. 10%? Well, listen, I think that it's problematic that we're in lockdown still in Canada, and Alberta, which I think is where Kyle is from, has a higher surge than Ontario, which is where Austin is. So both of these are like super hot spots right now for COVID. So I don't see them doing all the trips and like the hanging out and the events together and being flown around and doing appearances together. So I just don't know if they'll have an opportunity to see each other enough in order for them to really start something more than just flirt friends. So I'll say 10%. If it wasn't COVID, I would probably say like 35%.
I was going to say 30. So there we go.
Yeah. So if it wasn't COVID, they might have a better shot.
Like 5.
Okay. So BB asking, did he hear right or she hear right? Ty's time was 11 minutes and Tara's was 49 minutes. I didn't hear what Tara's time was. Jojo was saying that he thinks he heard, but not on the show, like from like feeds, right?
Oh, I thought Brayden said because they were celebrating, and I thought that Brayden said that it was 49.
Wow. Okay, I didn't hear that, but if that's the case, then man, like she shit the bed there. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. Actually, didn't mind Kyle Austin relationship. I don't mind them that much. I don't think that they're gonna last, obviously, but I don't mind them together. Them flirting and talking together made me like him more. So there's that. Certainly no Black person has one regular Big Brother in the US. Exactly. And no, there's been one Black person in Final 2, which was Godfrey and Anthony in season 7. And Gary, right. Gary should have won. Gary.
Yeah.
So there's 3 times.
So tonight I showed my partner the Topaz video of finale and he shit a brick.
It's terrible.
Like, roared. He was laughing. He's like, this is like dramatic television. Like this poor girl, this poor guy. Then the winner, he was like, I feel bad for the winner because like she probably thinks like I didn't deserve to win. Beautiful.
I'm happy that it still holds like as a standalone piece. Like it's still like, wow, that was pretty shocking. I think Ty's speech was nice because the having the first 2 Black people in final 2 and diversity in some sense of sexual identity as well. Absolutely. I mean, I was always standing Ty. I loved him. I liked Ty personally more than I liked Jed. I was rooting for Jed because he was on my draft team, but like I enjoyed Ty a little bit more than Jed. And then I just really couldn't get behind him after the Beth and Jed like eviction times. But other than that, I was starting to warm up to him again. And if we had those 2 more weeks, like we usually would, I probably would have been on the Ty train, like 100% being like, okay, I love you, Ty. Let's go. Let's win this. But it was still, for me, still fresh. I was still a bitter viewer. And so kind of like how Latoya was still a little bit upset that the Sunsetters had turned on each other. I was still upset with Ty a bit. But I definitely think that what he was standing for, I support, and I'm happy that he wants to represent Canada and like be the winner and have that be part of his representation. So I'm down for it.
Yeah,
he's a good winner. He's a worthy winner for sure. The closest was Danielle Reyes, who finished 2nd. She deserved that win. See, she got robbed. Yes, Tara had her. I heard 49 minutes in a clip on Twitter and Ty 11 minutes. Oh my goodness. I agree that Chantel, I liked Ty all season. Yes, me too. I loved him, and I still think he's so cute. He's so cute. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
He looked great. I loved his suit, but I also noticed that he had makeup all over his shoulder.
I think that was from Brayden. I wrote that down after the hugs. Yeah, it was definitely Brayden. Yeah. Brayden doing a little bit of makeup for Showtime. So I wrote down, I'm like, damn it, I went all in on Tara. I'm out of this. I was so annoyed. I was like, and I was going back and forth between, I'm like, should I do it all on Ty, all on Tara? Should I go all in on Ty, all in on Tara? And I decided to go all in on Tara. One of the reasons was what I said before, was that she has been somebody that in a pinch, she pulls through. So I thought that that was reliable. And then also to buy Tara, it was at a cheaper rate. So I think she was like $2 and something, and Ty was at like $4 and something. So I'm like, well, I can get more value out of Tara buys, and then the return would be greater. But now I got 0 when I would have at least doubled up if I'd just gone Ty. Oh, it's so brutal. I'm going to be embarrassed. Like, I'm going to be at 0, like literally $0. It's the worst. It's fine, I guess. It's not real money. Yeah, it's okay. I know, but like, it was the one season where I had the money, like all in on so many people, and then it was like the wrong week for be all in, and I just kept on losing money. Like, it was definitely a very difficult season to gauge who was doing well and who would be a good buy. Nobody did well. Like, so say usually it's around 2,500 is how much money the winner has at the end, like with who picks the winner instead of like the number 1 spot. And right now, before the finale, Taryn was in the number 1 spot at like $550. So if he doubles up in a little bit, he'll get to like maybe $1,100, $1,200, and that's if he goes all in on the winner. So if he goes all in on Ty, he will get maybe $1,200. But some people, and then that will be the highest. So that's, you can see how poorly people were playing, and nobody could understand or gauge, like, what's this gameplay? Like, I went all in on Jed the time when I was like, yes, he won the veto. I'm all in on Jed. That's amazing. Yes.
Oh.
Right? Oh, wait, hold on. What's this one? Tara must have peaked before these comps and ran out of gas. I think she just lost focus, and she allowed herself to get in her head. It's all about getting in your head. We talk about it all the time. We work as actors and dancers and performers, and it's really easy to go in and mess up an audition or even a show because you get in your head and you allow yourself to be like, I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. Like, all this stuff gets in your head. You forget your choreo, you forget what you're there for, and you mess up. And it's really a game with yourself. And I think that she allowed herself to take her out of the running. She just couldn't overcome it. And it's hard. We go through it every single day. Like, it's something that I work on constantly. I'm actually studying hypnosis so I can help people overcome their subconscious mind chatter that prevents them from the success that they want. And she just allowed her subconscious to overtake. It's more powerful.
Yep.
Fashion says, I always rooted for him. Was a little mad when he turned on Jed, but felt better when Jed said he would have taken Beth over Ty. Okay. It's not what he did. I would be okay with him cutting. Even the trap door would have been fine if he just said, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you. This is my only chance. That's it. Like, I would have been fine with that if he just owned it and said that. It's the fact that the whole week he was pretending like it wasn't happening and that it was their fault for, like, things that he didn't even talk about. Like, what do you mean it's my fault that I'm going home? It's like, no, we're doing this to be together. What do you mean it's my fault? Like, anyways, I've said it 1,000 times why I think I don't like it. I don't mind the move. I would have been like, oh, that's cold, but like, he's owning it. Like, him owning it would have been so sexy. Think about how sexy that would have been. Like, him like being like, bro, I can't beat you. You put yourself in a really compromising position here. I'm sorry that I have to use this opportunity to take you out. I'd be like, Oh my God. The balls on this guy are huge. You're hot, Ty. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're clutching your pearls? Oh.
Yeah, like if he just did it immediately, like if he told him literally at the veto, that would have been incredible. Like veto ceremony's done, then Ty rises. You're going home, Jed. You should have used the veto on yourself. Something like that would have been incredible. And I would have championed him and been like, yes, that's a move. Like, take ownership. You want to own this move. And it was all this like group mentality that it was actually Kiefer's idea, but Brayden, oh, I was in on it. Tara, I'm in on it. Ty, I'm in on it too, everyone. We're all in this together. Just own your shit. Be proud of it.
Yes, exactly. Okay, you had to rate this season highly. No line steamrolled to the end, and the ending still had some suspense. I think it's a fabulous season. Obviously, I have my own qualms about it because, like, I really like strategy, and so the fact that nobody was making moves that I would ever make in the house was kind of frustrating as a viewer for me, for what I enjoy in Big Brother. But it definitely was entertaining if I just looked at it as a piece of television and entertainment. So I think it rates as about an 8.5, maybe even a 9 of a season. 8.5, it would be a 9 or 9 plus if they didn't do that to the feeders, because the feeds to me are part of the experience of the show. And so it takes away from it from me. And I do think that I would have had a different excitement level if they hadn't ruined my momentum on how I enjoy taking in Big Brother. So I give it about an 8.5. I think that's pretty solid considering I'm not happy with them. You know, what do you think?
I would give them a 9 out of 10, only because I do think that Canada is superior to the American version, and I hated season 7. So this has been such a nice, exciting time in the Big Brother universe. I didn't love All Stars. I liked All Stars was fine.
All Stars was terrible.
Just because it was
I give All Stars a
here and
6.
there. No, I mean like All Stars season 7 was amazing, but All Stars.
Oh, 7, yeah, that was a 10. Yeah,
but 22 like started off with the cast that was real for me, and then did this and then plummeted. This season has been this, but all pretty high. So the majority of it for me, I've been really happy with.
Yes, I definitely I said it, I think yesterday, this was the first season in a long time that I was enjoying thoroughly all the way through, even though I have my like upset about this and I'm upset about that. But these are just small comparatively to being, I didn't want to watch the entire ending of All Stars because I was like so angry with how it was going down. Like I actually couldn't watch. I only listened to updates and watched some of the live feeds. Like I couldn't watch the episode because I was so frustrated and angry. So I didn't feel like that really during this. I was able to watch and enjoy for the most part. So I'm giving it an 8.5. JoJo's giving it a 9. I would have given it higher if they hadn't done the feeders dirty. So I agree with everything until the entertaining until the end. Well, and I think it's because the momentum was sucked dry. There's 4 days where there was not a peep about Big Brother on Twitter. A peep. Bad. Terrible.
No,
true.
The only reason I check Twitter is Big Brother.
Exactly. And I go to my certain people to see what's happened. Exactly. Me too. Yep. Me too. Twitter must be pissed. I'm just kidding. Twitter would be like, oh my God, Big Brother Canada's ruining Twitter. True. The scheming is what upset me too, LOL. Yeah, he should have owned it more. Totally agree. Yes, exactly. Own it. If I was in that jury, I don't think Ty would have been winning. I'd be like, he's not owning his moves, man. I don't like it. I'm ready for the Twitter drama. Yes, I want to know what Jed's mom says to Jed. That's what I want to see. So that's gonna be really exciting. Yes. Right. You think? No, they're not home yet. Or maybe he's talked to his mom.
Yeah, that's talking to his mom on the phone.
she's probably like, leave that girl alone. But but Beth is probably like talking to his mom, be like, hi, Mama Jed, like, you know, like doing the whole girlfriend talking to the mom thing. So she's gonna have to wait until she has her baby home alone. So Anthony Douglas, the poutine poppy, comes all masked up to talk to the jury. I didn't hear about this coming. Did you have any inclination that he was going to be hosting the jury roundtable?
Yeah, no idea. That was
me neither.
That was really fun. I would have preferred to see Arissa. But Anthony was fun.
Yeah, Anthony was fun. I mean, I liked Anthony, but why are we telling him that he's this mastermind? Like, everybody's just like, oh my God, you're the best player that didn't win. Like, I didn't really feel that. I think that he was playing a game with people that didn't know how to play. And he was in a strong group of people that were winning the competitions. Yeah. And he was willing to cut his friend. Like, I don't know. I just didn't think that everything that he did was that impressive. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'll still talk to you if you want to come and chat with me here and teach me how you are the best player. I'm not, no shade. Like, it's always impressive. You can get to the end. You can get to the end. But just if we're scrutinizing and critiquing here, I'm not that impressed. I don't know if he could pull it off in any scenario, which is what I think makes a great game player, is knowing that they are capable of doing well under any circumstance. And I think that Dr. Will has proven that he's able to do that. Also with Dan Giesling has proven that he's been able to do well 2 times, get to the end pretty much both times. So even Nicole, I don't like Nicole, but like, she has proven that her strategy is able to get her to the end multiple times, and even knowing Paul as well. So these people, like, I don't necessarily like their gameplay, but I think that they're more impressive game players than Anthony, because I feel as though their game is repeatable. They can do it again. I just might not like it. I don't know if he could do it again. Do you think he could?
Depending on if they do an all-star cast, he could do really well. But at the same time, he's one big boy. And if I saw a big boy like him in the house,
done. I mean, maybe I would go and try to work with him, but as a shield, maybe. But I don't like people telling me what to do, so I don't know if I'd be able to play that game. So, What will you give Jed, Beth, for a wedding gift? Don't kill me. What would I give Jed and Beth for a wedding gift? I don't know. Membership to some sort of, like, what's it called? A swingers club.
Yeah.
What would you get them?
It's funny you say that. I was gonna say Beth's friend's phone number.
Oh my gosh, dying. Okay. Why wasn't Jerry wearing a mask? Yeah, I don't know. No, okay, this is what I'm thinking must have happened, because I've worked on set during COVID about like a month and a half ago. And the protocol for this particular set was that I had to have COVID tests a couple times the week in advance. And there's certain regulations on how we had to wear the mask. So all the crew had to be masked all the time with the K95s. We obviously, when you enter any building, we had to be wearing like regular K95s. And then throughout the day in between, we'd have face shields. And so that's how we were able to do it. And then when we were recording, we would have it off. And then you'd have, like, if you had mask off for a certain amount of time, then you'd have to put mask on and have like a separated break for a certain amount of time. And so that's what was happening when I was being considered as cast, is that I didn't really have a mask like this on all the time. I only had the shield mask in between takes and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that they went to a similar guideline like that they had COVID tests 2 days before and 4 days before and a week before, probably. And I think that's probably how they rolled. I think that that's how film and television generally rolls for groups of people working on set. So that's my guess, that they probably all had, their one of the second AD has all their masks in like their own separate bag that they would put on between any takes or any cuts. That's my thought. That's my thought. Yeah. I think so. So yeah, Beth was bitter, but then Kiefer walks in and everybody was kind of sad to see him. But he was starting to pump up Ty. And so, and it did seem that there was a little bit of a shift there. It seemed like Kiefer was actually more mad at Tara, and was now seeming to be pushing for Ty, which I was a little bit surprised about, because if it wasn't for Ty, he would have still been there, you know? So I was surprised about that. Tina, of course, is proud that Tara is still in there, making it to the final 3 because she won that veto, and was shocked that she took out Kiefer instead of Brayden, which I think might have been a bit of a mistake. Might have been. So right now, Brayden has Vic's vote, and that's where I was like, oh boy, okay, so Brayden has, like, Vic is going to vote for Brayden. Like, this is bad news, because then that means that Rohan probably going to vote for Brayden, and that also means that I would say Jed and Beth. And I was like, Brayden's winning for sure. Brayden's winning for sure. So Tara, or Brayden and Tashawn do the final 3 competition, which was, I don't know if it was a good competition. I'd rather have been like, who said this, or finish this sentence, or which one of the jurors said this. Yeah. To be knowing the actual temperaments of the jurors, because I think that's a lot different than knowing like the numbers. You know what I mean? Because like some of the answers was like, was it 36 votes or was it 38 votes? And yeah, impressive that you could do this quick counting and you're like, oh, I know that number. But I would think it would be more better to show your social game as to how well you actually know your house guests, as a way to be showing them, you know, how well you got to know them throughout the game. So what do you think about the final 3? The
viewer in me. Yeah, the viewer in me agrees with you, but if I was playing the game, I think I would have preferred what they actually had as a challenge, because that's something you could know, numbers that are recognizable to you. So I probably would have felt more comfortable with like being able to study for something like this, instead of just like hope and a prayer that it's A or B, then what I'm saying is right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and I see where you're coming from as well. Like, definitely if I was playing the game, I'd want something that, like, if I count, I can get the correct number, 100%. But I do think that it would be helpful in front of the jury to make them be like, oh, he has absolutely no idea what I'm thinking, and like he never took time to get to know me in the social part of the game, and that he wasn't able to answer this question correctly. And so I just thought it would showcase something to the jury different than you memorizing numbers and dates. They just had 3 competitions that were like that, where they memorized these things, which is great. I know this is part of the end game competitions, like, and I love those competitions because it is where you can take your own life into your own hands. But I would have really liked for a little bit of the social part of the game to have some weight. And I think that Brayden would have maybe done better than Ty if it was, a judgment on social game or social elements of the game. So, you know. So I saw the final showdown. I thought looked amazing. It was the black and white comic strip. So I thought that looked so good. I was like, you guys did well. Like the last couple comps were pretty excellent to look at. Go Canada. And so, yes, Ty repeats that he wants to make history to see a Black person win BBCan. And so this is what he's saying right before he evicts Tara, because Ty did win that final part 3 of the head of household, and that's when I knew I lost the stock watch for sure. And Tara was not going to be sitting in the final 2 seat. I felt bad for Tara, because if she had kept Kiefer, she would have most likely at least won 20 grand. But she made her bed. She's definitely Team Brayden though. So I was like, ooh, 2 people Team Brayden. This could be bad for Ty. So Tara's introduced to the jury. I thought that they all looked super cute, though, in their outfits. Tara's dress was adorable when she came out to the jury. They're all happy, sad. Tina was really happy to see her. So I like that. And then I wrote down, I guess this is when they started doing the question, but I was like, uh-oh, Ty saying I was honest and loyal. No, he wasn't.
To yourself.
Yeah, you're loyal to yourself. You're honest with yourself. You knew what the truth was.
Yeah.
What did I say? Ty didn't use me. I used Ty. Oh, I like that Brayden was saying that, like, I'm well aware of the relationship that I was building with Ty. When Austin left, I knew that I needed to have people want me to be around and want me to last longer in the game. And so I love that he said, Ty didn't use me, I used Ty. I was like, yes, Brayden, own that, because people are saying that you're some sort of victim to Ty when, like, you were completely in control of what was going down there. And so I was like, yes, Brayden. You too?
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
For sure. You
too. Somebody asked, were you a third wheeler? And I didn't think that Ty answered this question really well. And so who asked, how was evicting Beth better for your game? Who asked that? Was it Beth? Who knows? No, okay, Beth. I don't really remember. I can't remember. I should have written down who said what, but I didn't. But Beth was, I think it was Rohan. But Beth was pretty upset and I thought she had a very fair question. She's like, when you said to me have fun in jury, you lost my vote. How are you going to gain it back right now? And I really didn't think that he gained her vote back. I really didn't. So, my opinion. Kiefer asked Brayden to explain why he deserved it over Ty. Say it again.
I said I agree with you. I did not think Beth was going to vote for Ty after that.
Me neither. Brianna, I'm so sad that the season is over. I've loved so much watching this podcast. Thanks, Brianna. Always look forward to it. Can't wait for your episodes on The Bachelorette. Yes, Brianna, The Bachelorette's coming soon. We'll be doing, I might do, since we do know who is in the season for the guys, I might do some tarot predictions for the cast. And maybe do like a one-off like that, and maybe do another one-off of like all the drama that's been going down, with Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell. So yes, expect in the last 2 weeks of May to be some more Bachelorette content. But yes, we will be coming back soon. So thank you so much, Brianna, for being here with us. How did you find the whole season? And were you happy with the winner? Natalie, Jed asked that question. Oh, thank you, Natalie. I just completely blocked off who wrote it. I mean, I guess it could have counted backwards. It'd have been Victoria, Rohan, somebody, then Jed, I guess. And okay, so and I also didn't like though that Ty was saying that they turned on him. Like, how he was owning it, I didn't think, for me, it wouldn't have sold me. And so I'm happy that he did what he needed to do, and he knew the people that he was playing with, they were going to forgive him, because there's no way that if it was done to me like that what he said would have sold me and made me want to give him my vote. So he knew his people better than I know them, or than it would have been if it were me. For shizzle.
Yep.
Oh, so I love Tara, though, was really trying to give Brayden an opportunity to really showcase his game. So she was like, when did you show that you were a force to be reckoned with in this game? And I love that she was really supporting him and wanted to give a really good question where he got to just show what he was going to do. And I'm sure that they probably planned it beforehand, being like, hey, I'm going to ask you this question if I'm gone, or what do you want me to ask you? And so I feel like they planned it. It seemed like it, because yeah, he had a decent answer. So I think that he rehearsed it. So I wrote, I think that Ty lost the game. That's what I wrote at that point. I'm like, I think he lost the game. I'm like, I think Ty lost the game. he was saying that he never threw anyone under the bus, and I was like, I think it's over. Like, I don't think it. And one thing that Brayden said in his final speech was that he never received one vote, and he was on the block 5 times. That's impressive, I think. Not one vote.
Yep.
And I was surprised, though, that Ty didn't hammer home more that he was never nominated, because that, like, I forgot about that part, and that I think is impressive, including in the final 3. I think he's the only person that's actually done that.
It made me really question if the final 2 questions and answers really make a difference, or if people go in thinking like, if this is who's there, that's who I'm voting for. Like, how much of it really changes in that 20 minutes.
I think that they knew how they were voting, because if they judged it on the answers, I don't think people would have voted that way. I think they already decided how they were going to vote regardless.
I agree.
Ooh, yes, Bachelorette readings. Yes. Talk about Libras. Ooh, I love Libras. I'm Aquarius girl. I think Brayden was the only Libra. No, there's no Libras this season. There's no air signs, girl. Brayden is a Taurus, so his birthday is in and around now. So there was no air signs. There's no Aquarius, no Gemini, no Libra, and there's no... Yeah, that's the only element that wasn't represented, or only sign I think that wasn't represented, because there was all earth and there was all fire, and all water. Wow. There was no Scorpio, and there was no. That's it. There was no Scorpio. So there's no Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini on this season. Can you tell I'm a Libra? Yes. So there wasn't much talk about that sign. Now, there was just no, I mean, the only difference is that, or the similarities between Libra and Taurus is that they're both ruled by Venus. And so you do have similarities with Brayden in that regard, with loving things that are beautiful and value your personal, beliefs and stuff like that, or stuff that's kind of comes pushing from Venus. You love tangible things that are valuable. So that could be how you have some similarities with Brayden, but he is earth and you are air, girl. So we talked to the first 5 that were evicted. It was nice to see everybody. I think that the hit was definitely LaToya. She was the one that was most interested in hearing what they had to say, but I did really like the cast, and I was happy to see the first 5 even come back on the screen.
I love seeing the reactions of everyone, like, getting to see themselves on television, the fights, the messiness. I love it all together to be able to see that. It was sad that the 5 pre-jurors were on Zoom, but still they were there. They were celebrating. It was great.
Yes, it was. So I loved all the fights. I loved the hot mess express. I also really loved, I know it's a little bit overkill, but they did like the diversity segment and like showing a lot of clips on the house guests having that experience. And so I'm saying it's overkill, but I think that it's something that was actually really needed. Because we need to be more comfortable with having these conversations and seeing it on our screen. So let's keep showing it. And so, yeah, for me, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I get it. But no, I think that more people need to see it to be like, well, okay, yes, I need to get comfortable with this. This is the new normal. And so that it doesn't have to be like pushed in our face so much. So I cried a little bit over Kiefer, because I thought that, even though I didn't necessarily like how he played the game all the time, I do really think that he was coming from, representing his nation and his people, and he was very proud. So I was happy that people were really supporting him. And he was the one that took away Canada's favorite player. And I think it definitely was a part of his people voting for him. And so I was definitely happy that Kiefer got to take home $10,000. Were you surprised by Kiefer getting that win?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. I was waiting for them to cash his check. I'm like, give him his money.
Give him his money. Yes. And just so you Americans know, we don't get taxed on our winnings here. So he gets the whole $10,000. So, you know, I already talked about the America's favorite player, but, or Canada's favorite player. Just so you know, the votes, so Victoria voted for Tishon, Rohan voted for Tishon, Tina voted for Tishon, and Jed voted for Tishon. So that locked it in. And then later on, Brissa said that he had 2 more votes and 1 vote from Tara was for Brayden. So almost a clean sweep was tied. Very surprised. I thought it was going to be maybe a 4-3 the other way. I think that even though I didn't like that move of his, I think he'll be a good winner. I think it's nice.
Yeah, I think Ty's a worthy winner for sure. Out of all 3 of them, I was happy for anybody at the end of the day.
Me too. Me too. Britta says, I like the season. It was really entertaining. I enjoy Messi. Love the representation. I'm not so thrilled about the winner. I wanted Kiefer to win. Then I wanted Tara, and then I wanted Brayden. So, LOL. But I'm thrilled about Canada's favorite player. Yes, but Kiefer could have got there. He dropped the ball as well. He could have gotten Tara to take him. He could have. He could have made that happen. And he didn't do it. So I had all my money on Kiefer until he decided to basically self-evict. I felt that this cast was made up of mostly genuine, kind people I've ever seen on Big Brother. Yes, there was backstabbing and such, but I really felt that this cast was really kind, good-hearted people. Very happy that the guy got replaced before the season started. Absolutely. I mean, we don't know if he would have been a problematic in the house, but it's nice to know that that energy was never brought in, that it was potentially an issue. So I totally agree. I think that everybody is quite lovely. Even in their backstabbiness, it wasn't that bad. They weren't that mean. It's kind of like how, like, on The Circle UK, how everybody was thinking Marika was so horrible and nasty. I'm like, she hasn't done anything. Like, like she hasn't been that nasty. Like, so I'm just like judging. Exactly. It's like, oh, somebody decides to like beat you in poker, like they're just a nasty player. Like, no, they're not. But if they lie to you and then they say that they're not lying to you, that's different. No tax on winnings. Wow, yeah, 0. That's why you see with like OLG and all that stuff, like there's actually like rules with like gaming, but like you don't get taxed on it. I don't know why the US taxes like 30% and we tax nothing. But that's one of the reasons why Canadians aren't able to play American versions of the game, is because of the taxable dollars on the winnings. So if they were to win, I'll just pay the tax. Like, let me play. So I'm not sure that's what like kind of must have happened with Survivor, which is amazing. So if you got taxed 30% playing Survivor US, it would still be $1 million Canadian with the exchange. So it's like, whatever. Thank you. Would Austin have liked the original guy better than Kyle? No, Kyle's cuter than the original guy. The original guy was a little bit more seemingly rough around the edges, more like a Dane kind of vibe to me. Like a little bit more like Canadian, you know, like just like Canadian white guy, you know. I don't know. It's just like cocky, you know, just hockey.
I love the fact that there was just no straight nails around, white nails around. I just loved it.
Oh, that's
true. Like, there's not going to be a straight nail.
Alliance all the way to the end, and like they're 2 girls. Each of them have a girl. Yeah, force up. Nope, didn't happen. So anything else we want to talk about? I did love that Arissa at the end said to Ty, "You're the bishop." I was like, that kind of made me a little bit moved a bit, because he did have that whole segment. I don't know if he was prompted or what, but talking about he's a bishop, he has to take out the queen and the knight, like, and the king, and you know, he's going to be using the pawn as his way to, you know, he was kind of, it wasn't exactly perfect what he said, but I like the fact that he won with the bishop. I thought that was cool, and I like that she called him that, because he might get this as a nickname now. I'd call him the bishop. Ty the bishop. It's cute.
You know, when I run into Ty in the street in Toronto, I'm going to be calling him the bishop.
Me too. Me too. Okay. Would you and JoJo cover Big Brother USA? Absolutely. I will definitely be doing it for Reality Pop. And so JoJo will definitely be here with me. So 100% yes. We're also going to be doing some, between seasons podcasts. So I'm thinking, tell me what you guys think of going through each season, as far as I can anyway, starting with season, say 2, looking at all the games in the entire season. So the vetoes, the luxury comps, and kind of just like dissecting each season's games and seeing how the evolution of games have impacted Big Brother on a whole. So that's what I was thinking of starting to do for the interim between now and Big Brother US starting, I'm assuming in July. So what do you guys think about that? That's what I'm going to probably workshop.
It's July?
Or end of June? I don't know.
I hope it's the beginning of June.
It won't be the beginning of June. It's never the beginning of June.
I just want it now.
I know. I need a break. And I want them to have an opportunity to get the cast really good. Like, they need to do a good job, because they have big shoes to fill. For first time, they have to fill the shoes, the big shoes of Big Brother Canada. What else do I have? So Kiefer has Canadian favorite player, and I wrote down Brayden's makeup on Ty's jacket. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That is it. That's all I wrote down for this episode. I didn't really write down that much, because I knew that we would be talking. I'm happy that we had a good season. I'm happy that there was a lot of diversity. I'm happy that Ty has opened the door to see a Black man win the game. So if he could do it once, that means it can be repeated. So that's definitely really nice to see, because I wasn't sure if I would ever really, unless it was me, see a Black person win Big Brother. So I'm happy that it could be a new trend that is starting. So it gives me a room to go in and be the first woman, Black woman. So do you have any final thoughts, JoJo? Hold on, what does Natalie have to say here? Do you see Twitter drama now that the season is over? Yeah. It's going to be between, I would say, Beth and Jed's mom. She's asking me foresee, though. Do we expect to see? Who else there might be drama with? It didn't seem like Tara was that excited about giving Victoria a hug after that fight. So, because Victoria was like, yeah, girl, I just came to hug you. And she's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be hugging you yet. I was like, okay, they might not be friends. Who else might have drama? Maybe Brayden might be upset with Ty for the fact that Beth wasn't really lying about what he had said. He might watch that.
Yeah. I mean, still brought him to final 2. He still made $20,000 because Ty did that. But Brayden's a big boy. He'll get over it. But I do think he played with his heart more than his mind.
Do you think that there might be a Twitter drama over it? What other Twitter drama do you think might happen?
Jed and Beth for sure. I don't know. I'm really curious as to what kind of presence each person's going to have on social media. So I'm sure in the next week we'll know who's going to be on, who's reading, who's posting. Maybe Beth doesn't want to see anything. Maybe Beth stay clear of Twitter. She really should. That would be my suggestion. Just to not one.
Brutes. Beth versus Latoya Twitter drama. I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't seem like Latoya is a fan of Beth at all. And then maybe Jed will be defending Beth, so it'd be Jed Latoya drama. I do want to see if there's going to be a Sunsetter fallout, because Yeah. Latoya was not happy with how the Sunsetters kind of imploded. And she's pretty vocal about her opinion. So I could see that Beth not standing for it and the little bit of. And which cast member might start a podcast?
Rohan and Kyle. That's my guess.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I would love Austin and Brayden though to have a podcast. That would be I would watch that.
That or like a YouTube channel where they do like makeup, like friends chatting. Like I feel like they would just have like a cute little Kiki kind of, Austin me Kiki, whatever. Something like that. Yeah, I'd love that. So yeah, I'd say those two. I could also see Victoria? I could see Victoria wanting to do something. I just don't know if she'd do it with somebody else or if it would just be by herself. Like, who would she do something with? I can't see her doing something with somebody else. Yeah. But those people.
She could, like, her and Kiefer would be cute together. I would love that. I would watch that.
I don't think that they would do that. I don't think that's happening. Kiefer, I could see doing it as well. He already has his own radio show, so maybe he's going to start something on his own, maybe surrounding representation in reality TV, and like maybe start like, I don't know, talking about reality TV from an Indigenous person perspective. Just say, and who will have a makeup channel? I was guessing maybe Bray and Austin might do Austin and Bray Kiki, or like makeup me type thing. That would be my guess.
Oh, Julie in there?
Oh, Julie, yeah, I can see Julie. Oh,
and then it's the dolls.
The dolls can come back. I can see the dolls coming back together, actually. Now that the season is done, and they could do definitely
makeovers on Barbie dolls.
Exactly. And I think that Julie already has a really big social media following. I'm not sure if it is on YouTube or not. And so maybe she would just be doing that a little bit more. So yeah, Julie as well. I totally forgot about her. Well, this is it, I think. Do you guys have any more questions in the chat? We love to talk to you. Jojo, do you have anything else you want to say about the season?
I want to thank you for having me all season.
It's my pleasure.
To speak to about Big Brother. Yes.
Oh, thank you. You're my favorite as well. I caught it. I mean, obviously I love talking about Big Brother, and I talk to you about Big Brother a lot. And so you are definitely up there with my favorite people to talk ad nauseum about this insane show that we love. And of course, Jonathan, I'm talking to you right now. You two are the only two that I talk to every day about Big Brother. Sorry?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I wanted to thank Jonathan for Wednesdays.
Of course, though. I mean, I could message him in person, but you know what? I will do it on this stage. Jonathan, if you are watching, I am so appreciative on Wednesdays that you were able to come and chat with me, because you as well are one of my favorite people to talk to about Big Brother. You always had a great perspective. Neither me or you or JoJo, I guess, won the draft because none of us had ties. So that is really interesting. But yes, I love you both. I love everybody in the chat. Oh, bye, Machine Gun Kelly. Yes, Natalie. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, B-Bean. Thank you, Dolores. I know you're going to be watching later. Brianna, Fashion. If I miss anybody else, we definitely love and Moses. Is Moses here today? No, but
no.
Usually. I think that's true. Happy early birthday to those born on May 12th. Those Taurus people. Yeah, it's definitely been a great season. So much fun. I love getting to know all you guys in the chat. I do feel like I know you, even though I have no idea what you look like other than your little circle emblems. I'm like, okay, BB's here, Natalie. Like, I just recognize you from that, which I think is really cute and funny that I wouldn't be able to recognize you in person if I bumped into you. So I still love getting to know you guys and your opinions. You know where to find me. I'll still be doing the challenge All Stars on Fridays at 10 p.m. on Reality Realness and at 8 p.m. on Reality Pop with Chris. And so, yeah, we'll be seeing you guys very soon. And I heard that Reality Pop might be having some interviews with some house guests. So if you're still looking for maybe me and a JoJo or me and a Jonathan talking to some of these Big Brother Canada 9 players, it looks like some interviews might be in the works. So stay tuned. We're not gone for good. We'd probably come on either on a Monday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday at the same time around that we would be doing Big Brother. So around between like 8 and 10 would be probably the time. That's my guess, but I'll let you guys know when I know more. So would you be down to doing some interviews, Joseph, if that were the case? Yes. Amazing. And you got to do it, guys. Reality Pop's almost at 1,000 subscribers, or like I think close to 700. So just, give them a little subscribe. Going to be your new hub for all things reality TV. We're covering the challenge. Lots of Survivor content, Survivor international content. We are trying to build our, network of reality TV content, and we can't do it without you. So thank you so much for joining us this entire season on the block with me and with JoJo and with Jonathan and with Michelle. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you all. Good night.